Recorded Books presents Destined For You by Tracie Peterson, narrated by Stephanie Cozart. Chapter 1. Duluth, Minnesota, September 1869. Gloriana Womack was not one to brook nonsense. If her 25 years had taught her anything, it was that 8-year-old boys were constantly in motion, and that motion often took them to places that guaranteed the need for a bath. But with the school bell set to ring in less than 10 minutes, Gloriana barely had time to get her brother, J.T., into a clean shirt. "I told you not to go outside until it was time to leave for school."
Glory, I just wanted to see if Papa was still here."
The curly-headed boy let her dress him but kept straining to see out the window. "Papa told you he'd be back to walk you to school. He's not going to leave before he does that. Remember, he's not fishing today. He has business to tend to."
"I don't know why I have to go to school anyway. When I get big, I'm going to catch fish like Papa does. He didn't go to school."
"Which is exactly why he wants you to. There are a lot of things that are limited for Papa because he didn't get an education. Even taking care of bank business requires someone to go with him. Mama used to read for him, but now I do it."
"Mr. Carson went with him today,"
J.T. said. "Yes, he did. Mr. Carson is very helpful in these things." She had nothing but fond thoughts for the sweet young couple next door. Scott and Sally Carson had become like family. Gloriana finished the last button on her brother's shirt and had just straightened when their father bounded into the house with a grin. "There's my family. Are you ready, J.T.?" The boy shoved his shirt into his waistband and pulled up his suspender straps.
"I am now. Come on, or the bell is going to ring and I'll be late. Don't forget we have to get all the way up the hill."
J.T. gave Gloriana a hug, then went running to his father, who bent over just as the boy approached. J.T. jumped on his back and gave a whooping cry.
"To school!"
Gloriana laughed. J.T. had more energy than any other boys she knew. "Be good, J.T." She handed her father a cloth bag with the drawstring pulled tight. "Here's his lunch." With the men of the house gone, Gloriana began her daily routine of housework. She threw J.T.'s dirty shirt into the pile of laundry she would have to tackle later. For now, she would get the breakfast mess cleaned up. They'd had flapjacks, and it seemed J.T. had tracked stickiness everywhere. She took a dish towel that was already damp and dipped it in a pan of hot water that she'd readied for the dishes. The table, a hardy pine creation that had been gifted to her mother and father when they married, was soon decluttered and cleaned to Gloriana's standards. She finished tidying up the kitchen and then went to work on the dishes. When everything was finally washed, dried, and put away, she stood back and surveyed her handiwork. Nothing was quite so satisfying as a clean kitchen. Now to mop. A knock interrupted her plan. Gloriana dried her hands on her apron and untied the strings. She hung it up on a peg by the back door and went to receive her guest. A petite brunette stood on the other side of the door. Gloriana smiled. "I figured since Papa and Scott got back from town, you would be busy with your husband," Gloriana said. Sally Carson patted her ever-rounding belly. "The baby has other plans. I've been having some pains." "Is it time?" Gloriana asked, alarmed. Sally shook her head. "The midwife said it's false labor, but the real thing will come soon enough. Scott is busy trying to make sure everything is ready. He's making some repairs to the house that he and your father talked about. I just came over to borrow some white thread. I'm finishing up the last few diapers." "Of course. Come in and have a seat. Don't wear yourself out." Gloriana went to her sewing basket. "It's going to be so much fun to have a baby around. I remember when J.T. was born. Actually, I remember when Tabby and Aaron were born as well. But that seems like a long time ago now." For a moment, Gloriana found herself thinking back to those happier days.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?